Warren Buffett, How to Grow Your Money. Warren Buffett is one of the greatest investors who ever lived. Warren Buffett, now known as the Oracle of Omaha, came from humble beginnings and built a net worth of over $84 billion, according to Business Insider. With his vast fortune built primarily on the stock market, it makes sense to consider him one of the most successful investors of all time. But you'll be surprised that Warren Buffett is not the investor you imagined, and the steps are difficult to follow when you don't have a lot of money. Nevertheless, Buffett has truly achieved his success on Wall Street, and his leadership in investment strategy and psychology will serve you well in your stock market activities. Who is Warren Buffett? Most people have heard of Warren Buffett's name and know him as a famous billionaire. However, there is more to it than just the name of someone who has made money in the stock market to build his fortune. Buffett had a relatively pleasant upbringing. His father, Howard Buffett, was an investor who became a member of Congress, and his mother, Layla Buffett, was a housewife. His career started early when he started working for the Washington Post at the age of 11. Buffett also worked in his family's grocery store and spent a lot of time with his father's small realtor, where he would track what investors were doing and saying. With his salary, he bought 6 Citi Service preferred shares for $38 per share, 3 for himself and 3 for his mother. The stock quickly dropped to $27 per share, but as a teenager, he made the decision not to sell. After the stock returned to $40 per share, Buffett and his mother sold their positions and Warren was happy. As a young investor, Buffett met Benjamin Graham, who took him under his wing. Known today as the father of value investing, Graham taught Buffett how to invest in undervalued companies that had a competitive advantage. Throughout his career, Buffett has searched for the intrinsic value hidden behind a gross understatement, a way to buy companies worth $38 to $40 per share for $27 per share. He has held multiple positions on the boards of publicly traded companies and is a co-founder of Berkshire Hathaway, an investment firm with hundreds of millions of dollars in assets under management. Buffett doesn't just buy stock, he owns companies. While almost every investor would like to follow in Warren Buffett's footsteps, doing so will be very difficult without a lot of money to get started. You know, Buffett isn't known for investing small amounts and just driving up stock prices. $100, $500, $1,000, or even $10,000 stock position won't even scratch the surface of Buffett's investments. Why is that important? Buffett is an active investor. This means that he will be buying enough stock of the company he invests in that it makes sense for the company to give him an active role as director. As a board member, Buffett has been an important part of the decision-making process, helping steer the company he has purchased in the right direction. While the average investor can't afford a public company's board of directors, that doesn't mean you can't learn from Oracle in Omaha. All of this means that if you follow Buffett's investment ideology, you need to be more realistic about your expectations. Value investing isn't buy and hold. One of the important factors to know about Buffett's investment strategy is that he is a valuable investor. There is a common misconception that Buffett follows an investment strategy of buy and hold, and there are good reasons for that. Buffett once said, "If you don't want to own a stock for 10 years, don't even think about owning it for 10 minutes." Of course, this offer can show that a buy and hold investment strategy is the way to go. However, actions speak louder than words, and Buffett's actions in the stock market are the actions of a valuable investor. Buffett also understands the costs of the company he owns and is not shy about selling positions on time. Value investors are looking for stocks that they want to hold for the long term. It is not known how long it will take investors to hold shares to their intrinsic value. Buffett's widely used quote doesn't mean you should hold a stock that has risen to fair market value or a price higher than it is. While buy and hold investors can passively hold such shareholders, value investors prefer to sell and take profits. Number 1. Know what you're investing in. Warren Buffett has never made a blind investment because of the media or social noise. Every investment he makes is highly calculated and lies in his area of interest. When you plan to invest like Buffett, you are investing in an industry that not only interests you, but also knows firsthand. For example, if you're a mechanic looking to build a nest of eggs, investing in car stocks could be a good place to start. On the other hand, if you are a dentist, you may want to invest in a medical company that is developing ways to relieve pain after opiate-free oral surgery. Investing is a process that requires a lot of research. If you are not interested in what you are researching, you are unlikely to do extensive research. But if you know the exact industry you're in, you'll know exactly what to look for in the success factors in a company's industry. Number 2. Look for an economic moat. Warren Buffett, like any successful investor, understands that the success of any business depends on its ability to withstand competition. So it's no wonder Oracle often talks about the economic trench in Omaha. What is an economic trench? Think of the moat around a castle in the Middle Ages. A moat is a large pool of water that surrounds the castle, repelling unwanted guests and protecting the inhabitants of the castle. This idea also applies to companies. The company's economic moat includes strong brands, patents, and brands that keep competitors away. When competitors choose to laugh at digging up that intellectual property to bite the company, they must prepare for the economic losses caused by expensive marketing or litigation. Before investing in any company, take the time to research its intellectual property. Also, look for attempts to infringe on this intellectual property by competitors and how the company you are trying to invest in reacts to. While the intellectual property itself is great, companies that have a proven track record of fending off competitors in the courtroom usually have economic rips that even the boldest competitors won't want to overcome. Number 3. Cash is an investment. If Warren Buffett had money in his pocket, he could live there. Although he is a firm believer in capitalizing on stock market opportunities, he is happy to save his money when there are currently no opportunities that fit his criteria. Throughout history, the value of money has often grown faster than the value of stocks. In addition, having liquid money in your pocket gives you the opportunity to take advantage of the opportunities offered by the stock market instead of choosing stocks that do not provide the desired return. So be very selective in the investments you make. If you can't find a stock that fits your investment strategy, save your money. Soon more possibilities will emerge. Number 4. Don't set it and forget it. Warren Buffett would never invest in a company and forget about it for years. As a value investor, he is one of the most active investors on Wall Street today. Every successful investor takes the time to monitor their investments and, if necessary, balance their portfolios. To do this, immerse yourself in your portfolio at least every 3 months or, at best, monthly. Look for stocks that don't meet your criteria as investments. Perhaps the value rose too high, management deteriorated, or there was a lawsuit and the company's intellectual property did not survive. When a company's circumstances change and it is no longer eligible for investment, it may be time to sell it and look for the next opportunity. Anything can happen in the market. Buffett pays close attention to his investments so as not to miss anything. You must do the same. Everyone wants to invest like Warren Buffett. Although few have the investment capital required to buy yourself a seat on the board of a publicly traded company, there are several things that you can learn from the Oracle of Omaha. In particular, the value investing strategy is a great way to go if you are willing to devote the time to research and have a solid understanding of the stock market. However, if that's not the case, there is no shame in investing in index funds and ETF while you gain experience and earn market average returns in the meantime. See you next time. Thanks for